All right, so every single person should have their Mach 1, Mach 2, and their little worksheet on their desk. Their little worksheet looks like this. Now, just a friendly reminder, I am well aware most of you are in AP Art History. I am well aware that your exam is on Tuesday. You are not going to forget about me over the weekend and focus only on Ren. And then once Ren's exam is done, then focus on me. That's not going to work. I will not accept that because you've worked too hard all year to shoot yourself in the foot last minute. So, in order to help you, I've planned the next 5 days for you. You're welcome. But we'll get there. So, every single person should have Mach 1 and Mach 2 on their desk ready to go. So what we are going to do, we are going to use math and science. I know, I'm leading a math instruction here, so enjoy, ladies and gentlemen. Yes. So hateful back there. We are going to use math to figure out what exactly is your weakest point. We are using actual correlated data in order to make decisions, which is the best way to make decisions. Instead of us just guessing what we suck at, we're going to know what we suck at officially by the end of this. So please listen very carefully. You are going to listen to my 6 sets of instructions, and then I'm going to let you go ahead and do the math while I grade your Barron's books. While I'm grading Barron's books, you're going to do the math, and then we're going to come and talk about what those results mean. Is everyone clear on that? So while I'm going through instructions, do not be filling anything in. Is everyone clear on that? You'll have about 12 to 15 minutes to get it done in the time period. So do not fill out anything. I want you listening. So you are going to, if you haven't noticed, it has period 1 through 6. You also have test scores over here in total. So what you're going to do is you are going to look at your multiple choice for both Mach 1 and Mach 2. You are going to count up how many multiple choice questions you got wrong in each period. In every single one of your mocks, we broke up each question by period, correct? Now you're simply going to look at your notes that you took on Mach 1 and Mach 2, and you're just going to make a tally in the boxes that correlate to it. So if you got a question from 4 wrong, you put a tally. If you got 2, you write 2. Is everyone clear on what you're doing? You're just going to look at Mach 1 and then go to Mach 2 for the multiple choice. Okay? So if you have a question on your multiple choice that says questions 3 through 4, periods 3 through 4, then you're going to mark a note in periods 3 and 4. Is everyone clear on that? So if it's multiple sections, you're going to put a tally in each of them because there's something in those sections that you don't understand, and it's important for us to recognize that. Everyone's clear on the multiple choice part? Perfect. Once you finish the multiple choice, you are then going to open up your EDSB. Okay? You are going to record your scores. No one should be doing any tallying right now. I made it very clear what I want. You're going to open up EDSB, and you're going to write down your scores from week 29. Keep in mind, week 29 had period 1 and 2 on it, which is why it's a repeat. 30, 32, 33, 34. So I already told you what weeks they are. You're going to write your tests down. Now, if you're one of these people who haven't made up any of their tests that you missed, then you really just shot yourself in the foot. Because you don't know how strong or how weak you are in that period, and here we are, 6 days to go. So, once you have recorded your scores here, you are then going to go to number 2, which says write down your scores. Then you are going to look at your lowest score. Okay, so say number 4 is your lowest score. You're going to write 8 points. So you have a bunch of tally marks here, and you're going to write an 8 here. Then you're going to look at your second lowest score, which is maybe period 5, and you're going to write a 6. And then your third lowest score is maybe 2, and you're going to write a 4. Is everyone clear on what's happening here? So we are just weighting these tests so you can see which one's you're weakest at so we can make a comparison here. Then what you are going to do is you are going to look at your short answer questions for both Mach 1 and Mach 2. Anytime you got a 0 score, a 0. If you got a partial or 1 point, you don't count it. If it's a 0, you add 2 points for that period. So say you got a 0 on a SAQ on period 5, you put a 2 in that box. Is everyone clear? Making sure you're looking at Mach 1 and Mach 2. Then you're going to look at your LEQs. If you scored a 4 or less on an LEQ, you're going to give yourself 4 points in the period that LEQ is on. Is everyone clear? So say one of the LEQs was on period 4, you're going to write a 4 in that box if you got a score 4 or less. Then you're going to look at your DBQ. Did you get 6 points or less on your DBQ? Then you're going to write, oh, I have to write 6 points for every low for my last DBQ because I only got a 4. So, with that being said, that is how you calculate your stuff, okay? With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I hope that you see that this has gone full circle. Yes? I hope that you see that everything that we have done for review has had a major purpose. This is going to tell you. So once you finish, you are going to total up your scores, which is what you're going to write here, and you're going to identify scientifically, mathematically, what's your lowest scores? What's your lowest periods? So we know for a fact that that is your weakest. Instead of you guessing, we know for a fact. I hope that you see that everything we've done, when we look back for the first 29 weeks when we were looking at content, I hope that when you look at that spice, that focus, your vocab, your maps, your primaries, I hope that you see all of that had a purpose. I hope that now that we're ended review, we're done. We just had period 6 tests. I hope that you see that that is preparing us to really analyze what we're good at and what we're not good at. I hope that you see that your girl here is a planner and that I have designed everything to have a meaning. Do we see it? I hope you're kind of impressed, are you?
Yes.
Maybe full circle? Okay. So, what you're going to do while I am grading your Barron's book is you are now going to start doing your calculations. Please make sure you are paying attention to both Mach 1 and Mach 2. Begin what? Guys, this is independent. You don't really have that much time. So, everyone should be doing their mocks. Let's go. I'm going to do these really quickly. And then you don't really have that much time to do your calculations here, people. Yeah. Whatever you need to do. Guys, you have your instructions. Let's go. Come on. plan better. It wouldn't destroy your soul as much. Definitely.
Oh, yeah, I know. Yeah, I also have a paycheck period 5 too.
Why? Have you taken that test?
I'm taking 8 period. So just
Cool,
that.
I'll check it then.
Alright.
So now you're not even getting all of your data because
Yeah.
you haven't done everything you're supposed to. What? Then those, whatever your lowest ones are, if it's a tie, then they both get the point. Whatever it needs to be. You're the only one that's asking that question. You've got 10 seconds to finish your grade calculations, and we're moving on. Whether you're done or not, we're moving
Do
on.
you just count the answer total, or do you also put it in the percentage of your test?
Hi, that's not what it's about, sweetie. It's not about percentage. Thank you so much for listening to the instructions. The instructions said that your lowest test score, add 8 points to that period.
Yeah, I know. I'll just.
Yeah, then it's the whole total. So you total every single thing, all of your hashes and all of this data. What?
Should the first test be 29 be out of 50? Is that correct?
No, it's out of, maybe, it should be out of 70, isn't it? It's out of 70, boss. We're all out of 70. I didn't carve a single period test. 3, 2, 1. Okay, so whether you have finished your data correlation or not, stop. Stop. Whether you've finished or not, you know exactly what you need to do. The instructions are very clear on the paper, or you could even listen to this lecture again, because I'm recording it right now, while you do your math later. Please listen very carefully. So, looking at your data as how it looks at this moment, whether it's done or not. Show me what is your weakest section with your fingers. Weakest section. Okay. If you have a weakest section of 1, 1 is worth 5% of the exam. Do not waste your time studying 1. What is your best section on your fingers? What is your best section? 1 does not count because 1 is 5%. Okay. So, I hope that you see, especially if you finish your data correlation, I hope that you see that this is valuable. You're not guessing. Now you know exactly what your weakness is. So, what do you do with this information? That, conveniently, is also answered at the bottom of the sheet. How wonderful. So, for the your 3 worst sections, ladies and gentlemen, you are going to listen to my directions, and it's going to be incredibly explicit. Now, we have spent 7 weeks preparing for this AP exam and a straight-up review. 7 weeks. This is the 7th week. You do not have time in the next 6 days to relearn everything we've done. We've taken 7 weeks to get here. You can't jam all of that in to 6 days. Can't happen. Won't happen. You'll die. So what you are going to do over the next 6 days is focus on your 3 weakest areas that you can do, that will matter, that will make an impact. Is everyone clear on that? So, whatever your 3 that you came up with mathematically, looking at important data collection that we've done over the last 7 weeks, that is what you're going to be focusing on. So what does that mean? What am I going to do with this information? The first thing that you should be doing is that, so if you figured out that period 5 is your weakest, then you need to open up your notebook to week 20, which if you look at your scope and sequence, is the day period 5 starts. And you are going to highlight and annotate your notes from class. Your school notebook, your class notebook that you took notes on from week 1 to 29. Now, if highlighting annotation is not your best method for studying, then do whatever works best for you. Like I bet my girl Emerson's going to do like a flow chart, maybe some lists. Some of you maybe like diagrams. I don't know how the hell you people study. But whatever works for you, that is what you're going to do, focusing on that period. So if you just figured out 5 is one of your top 3, you're going to work on 5. If you just realize period 2 is not one of your weakest, what are you absolutely not doing? Period 2. You only have time over the next 6 days to really focus on your weakness because we've reviewed everything else. We've done the review. So you do not have time to highlight and annotate your entire notebook. That's not what I want. Don't do it. You have the responsibility to do it for 3 of them. Now, whether you highlight and annotate your notebook, I will never know. Because you have only 3 assignments that are going into your notebook from here. You have the do now, which you started today, and you have 2 mock exams that are going in on your exam day. That's it. So if you decide that you're not going to do anything for AP World over the next 6 days, you're hurting you in your score. You're not hurting me. Doesn't hurt, fine. Kind of sucks for you. But there's no grades coming in for this. None. It is entirely for yourself that you're doing this. Okay.
Okay, so one of my weaker sections was period 6.
Yeah.
But that was more just on multiple choice from mock exams.
Well, darling, that's why you took them all. Did you equate into your SAQs and LAQs like I told you to?
Yeah, but I mean, in wrong period 6.
Okay. So, you're going to go through, highlight, and annotate your notes or do whatever you need to do in order to be prepared for those sections. You are also going to look at my period packets that I gave you. William, what are you doing? Thank you. Hella rude, by the way. The period packets that I gave you throughout the course of the year. Every time we finished a period, I gave you a packet, right? Remember, packet 1, 3, 6, all of that? Those are going to be super helpful to you now. If you have not looked at them, they're pretty awesome. They're really great. So what I would like you to do is, if it helps, I would go through that and maybe highlight, annotate, add information too, because it doesn't have tons and tons of information. It's pretty streamlined. So if that works for you, then I would definitely do that. Is everyone clear on that? This is the time that you have to take responsibility for what you know and what you need to do. I am really going to step back at this point because I have done 6 whole weeks of review with you. I've designed everything for you. It is now up to you. So, if you did not complete a Barron's book section like you should have in the 6 weeks of review, I would take the time now to finish those sections. Whether they are your weakest section or not. Is everyone clear on that? If you did not finish a Barron's book section or didn't even start it, I would absolutely get that done before your AP exam. Even if it's not your weakest section, I would absolutely get that done because that content will be there somewhere. Okay, flip it over. I have planned the next 6 days of your life. You're welcome. With that being said, raise your hand if you are not taking AP Art History. Oh wow, there's so many of you. Good for you. You people deserve a day off. Take it off. Take off tomorrow. Don't do shit for me. I don't want to. Relax, live your best life, okay? For all of you who are taking AP Art History, you don't have time to take a day off. You have no fun. You have 2 exams next week. You need to be working. You need to be studying for my exam and Ren's exam this weekend. Now, the good thing is when you're studying for Ren's, you're kind of helping my content. When you're studying for me, you're definitely helping Ren's content. Can we agree? So, Saturday, if you do not have AP Art History, I would totally take it off and say yes and live your best life. If you have AP Art History, I would totally spend Saturday working on it. Ren's telling you what to do this weekend, is he?
Not really.
Okay, well, that's on him, that's not me. On Sunday, I want Sunday. On Sunday, you are going to study your worst section. So whatever that section that has the highest mathematical errors in it that you just calculated, that's the section you're going to work on Sunday. You're going to go through your notes and highlight and annotate them if that works for you. You're going to go through that packet, whatever it takes. I do not want you spending more than 2 to 3 hours doing it. Absolutely not. I don't want 3 hours in 1 minute. I definitely don't want 3 hours in 2 minutes. If you are spending meaningful time and you think after 2 hours you're good, that's fine. Spending an hour and a half, not okay. 2 hours to 3. I don't want any more of that. Is everyone clear on that? Because if you are thinking you're just going to cram all this stuff into your brain and I'm going to do a marathon study session, you're an idiot. Because it's not going to help. Nothing like that's going to help. We've been logical and methodical this whole time. We're going to continue. Send it. Yes. Okay. Isabel, you're signed up. Okay. I'd watch the rest of my video, girl. Okay. So, on Sunday, spend 2 to 3 hours. I don't want more than 3 hours. However, during that 2 to 3 hours, I want it to be meaningful. If you're on your phone the whole time, and if you're just being an idiot and not actually taking my content, then that doesn't count. We get that, right? I want 2 to 3 hours max. Do not go any more on Sunday for AP World. On Monday, at 7:45 in the morning, I am doing a tutoring sessions for periods 1 through 3 in my classroom. If you are interested in coming, you're more than welcome. If you're weak in period 2 and 3, where should you be at 7:45? Here. If you're only weak in section 3, do you have to be here? No. Then you should be here at the next tutoring session. Does that make sense? You need to budget your time. You can't do everything. You don't need to do everything. You just need to be aware of what your options are and be making sure you're taking advantage of it. On Monday night, you need to be going through your second worst section, going through your notes, and looking at my packet. You need to be spending an hour to 2. I do not want more than 2 hours on AP World. We are not freaking out, people. We need to be methodical, we need to be logical, and we need to keep up the expectations. I am well aware this is the night before Ren's exam. I'm aware. I'm not asking you to spend 4 hours on my stuff. I'm not. I'm asking for a meaningful 1 hour to 2. Okay? No more. I don't want 2 hours and 1 minute. I don't want it. I want meaningful time looking at my stuff. Now, keep in mind, Ren's stuff complements my stuff. My stuff complements Ren's stuff. So, it's not a betrayal on Ren. It is a betrayal if you don't study mine. Okay? Oh, it was a joke. So, you 1 to 2 hours on Monday. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I want you to see at the very bottom. In case you haven't noticed in your bearings book, you have practice tests. You have 2 of them. Okay? Now, raise your hand if you're weak on multiple choice. You know that you're weak on multiple choice. Okay. So, perfect. There's nothing wrong. Everyone in this room has a weakness. Some are bigger than others, some are smaller than others, but every single person in this room has a place to fix. If you know multiple choice is yours, then good for you, because I got 2 good practices for you, girl. Hell yes. With that being said, as you see in my directions, at some point within these 5 days, every single person should do at least 1 practice test in the back of their bearings book. 1. If you just raise your hand because you're not very good at practice tests, then you should probably do both. Does that make sense? If you're pretty comfortable with your practice test, with your multiple choice, then don't do 2. Just do 1. It's up to you. Keep in mind, will I ever know? No, because this is completely self-directed by you. So if you don't want to do it, I'll never know. Is your scores going to suffer? Oh, faux show. Now, when you're taking your practice test, I do not want you to take out a sheet of paper and go from 1 to 50. Don't. That is a waste of your time. Ladies and gentlemen, over the last 18 weeks, we have been doing time tests. Would you agree? We got our timing. We did 2 mock exams. We know the timing. You're not taking these tests for timing. You're taking these tests because you're weak at taking multiple choice questions. Is that clear? So this is how I want you to do your multiple choice question test. Every single one of you, whether you're doing 1 of them or 2. You're going to start at number 1 and you're going to open your book. You're going to read the prompt, whatever it is. You're going to answer the questions on that page. Once you answer, this page happens to have 3 questions, then I'm going to go check my answers in the back immediately. You're going to fill out 1 page, like take the prompt and do the questions, and then immediately check your answers. Here's why. The reason why you do this is because if you're making a content error, which is why we're doing this in the first place, I want you to fix it immediately. If you go 1 through 50 and you make an error on 13, is it going to be meaningful when you check it again? No. But if you immediately check your answer after you make the mistake, you're way more likely to remember and not make that mistake again. And that's what good tests, that's what good studying does. So you're going to open up to start on 1, answer those pages on 1, flip to the answers. If you got a question wrong, you're going to make a quick annotation of why you got it wrong. I didn't understand, imperialism, the word imperialism. I didn't understand that. Just so you can correct it. I got things to do.
Can I give your kids advice?
No, go. I got things to do. My exam's in 6 days. So, you're going through every single question, making a quick little note if you got it wrong, just so you can fix it. Then you turn the page, you're going to do that prompt, do those questions, check your answers immediately. Make a quick little note if you got it wrong. That way you're correcting the mistakes immediately. This is what good studying habits look like. We do not need to work on timing. We've been working on timing for 18 weeks. We have figured out the timing. You need to practice the skill, which is why you check your answers after you do a page. Is everyone clear on what I'm expecting? If you only need to do 1, do 1. Everyone should do 1. Because keep in mind, these are all in sets, which is why I really like this book, which is why I have you do this book. Okay? So, everyone should do the practice test. You have whenever you can do it throughout the week. It's completely up to you. Whenever you have time, I would do it. Now, Tuesday, so that's Monday. I have tutoring at 7:45. You have to do 1 hour to 2, no more than 2 for AP World in the evening. Even with AP Art the next day. It's compliments, so it's not a big deal. On Tuesday, if you have AP Art History, you're not with me. You're gone. I am doing tutoring at 7:45. I am covering periods 4 to 6 and tutoring at 7:45. In class, you are the last class of the day I'm teaching because I'm with you in the gym for AP Art History. So I'm not seeing my 7th and 8th period on Tuesday because I'm with AP Art History. With that being said, my 1st, 2nd, and 3rd period in class, I'm going over periods 4 through 6. Okay? So, what is going to happen in class is I'm going to ask you, hey, what do you need? What do you want? For the last 6 weeks, you've seen me come in completely prepared and starting right what I wanted, correct? Some days we did spices, some days we did direct comparison, sometimes I just went over a review, correct? Now, you guys are coming in and you're telling me what you need. So while you are working over the weekend and while you're working the night before, you should be writing down things like you don't understand. Like, I just don't understand the Protestant Reformation. If you don't understand the Protestant Reformation, you've got a long, hard road ahead of you. As we talked about 10,000 times. But you're going to tell me what you need, and I'm going to say on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, okay, what do you need? And Morgan's going to raise her hand. She's like, I don't get this. And then Nathan will raise his hand and say, oh, I definitely don't get this. And we are going to go through it. You get to direct the conversation. You were just my examples. That's Tuesday. If you're in AP Art History, you still owe me 1 to 2 hours. Now, some of my AP Art History kids said they're just going to wake up at 8 and do 1 or 2 hours in the morning before your exam. Because your exam's at 11:30. My stuff does complement. It's not like it's total opposite. If you want to do it after the exam, that's fine, but it better be quality. Because you're going to be exhausted after that exam. So keep that in mind as well. Then Wednesday. Wednesday is our last day of instruction together. At 7:45, I am doing tutoring on essays in this classroom. Okay? In class, my focus will be on the essays and whatever last-minute content-based questions you have. Okay? On Wednesday, I'm expecting you to study meaningful 2 or 3 hours. I will not be impressed if I hear you study for 4 hours. I'm going to call you an idiot, and why are you sabotaging yourself? You're an idiot. Don't do it. We do nothing illogical. We are logical. We are methodical. We are ready for this. We have been working every single day for this. There's no reason to panic. However, we do need to make sure we're holding our high expectations. So So 2 or 3 hours to study, and that's it. That's it. However, I did forget to tell you something, so you're going to have to write it in. Sorry. You need to write in that bedtime's by 10. Oh, I'm serious, because I tell you where to wake up, too. 10. Yes, you need to be in bed by 10. Are you taking AP Art History? Yeah, you're going to be exhausted by the time you get to my exam. So, yeah, 10 o'clock on Wednesday. You need to be in bed by 10. Perfect. So it won't be a big deal. You need to be in bed by 10. I prefer earlier, but if you need to be in bed by 10, that's perfectly fine by me. You need to be in bed by 10 because you're waking up on Thursday morning, my exam, by 6 a.m. Everyone is up by 6 a.m. What?
For the practice tests, should be like
What
time
practice
yourself
tests?
in the
No,
very
because
start.
there's no reason to time yourself because you're going to stop and check your answers all the time.
Okay.
So there's no point in timing yourself. We've been practicing timing for 18 weeks.
How long are they?
50 questions, girl.
50 questions.
Okay. Every single person needs to be up at 6 a.m. Every single person. Because every single person knows what it feels like to wake up and be late. It's stressful. It's just going to make life harder. And I don't want you walking in groggy. Because you know that exam is going to start real quick with those multiple choice. And you have to move quick. Because they're sadistic with 55 multiple choice questions in 55 minutes. So you need to be up by 6. Every single person in this room needs to eat a real breakfast. Now, don't you dare go home and say, Miss Bennett says you need to make me a big breakfast on Wednesday morning. That is not what I'm saying, and I will cite this video. You are more than capable of making your own damn breakfast in the morning. You do not need to go home and tell your mama, your papa, whoever loves you, that they need to have a big breakfast for you in the morning, because hell no. I don't care if you go and stop and pick up breakfast. I am perfectly fine with you going to Publix the night before and buying something for breakfast, or you waking up and making your own damn eggs in the morning. But you need to have a real breakfast, and a real breakfast includes protein, carbs, and fats. You need to have a real breakfast because you are going to be waking up anxious. You are going to be anxious all morning, which is going to make you really hungry. You need to eat a real breakfast, not that Chick-fil-A shit. Even though every single year I have kids purposely walk in with big smiles on their face as they're eating their Chick-fil-A breakfast. Chick-fil-A is not healthy. Eat something, a good breakfast. If you don't drink coffee, don't drink coffee Thursday. If you don't drink an energy drink every morning and poison your liver, don't start it on Thursday. If you drink coffee, drink coffee. If you decide to poison your body every day by drinking an energy drink every day, then continue doing that. That's great. You're going to die at the age of like 22, but that's fine for you, I guess. Do not switch up. If you don't drink caffeine, don't drink caffeine. If you drink a tea every morning, then drink a damn tea. Someone's like, well, Miss Bennett, I always have a smoothie. Hi, I don't need to be involved in every life decision you're making that morning, but keep it normal. Can we agree? If you drink a smoothie every morning, then have a freaking smoothie. If you don't drink coffee, then don't drink coffee. It's not the day to start. While you're eating, I am perfectly fine with you glancing at your notes. You are not going to be studying your notes. You're not going to be like, oh my God, I got to learn this before I go in. Absolutely not. You're only going to stress yourself out. You're not going to retain anything, and you're probably going to lose information because you just freaked yourself out. If you know for a fact that you suck at the Cold War, I am perfectly fine with you sitting down at your breakfast table and flipping through your Cold War notes and looking at it. That's perfectly fine. But if you're standing there like, I got to know that, you're doing it wrong. We are not freaking out. We are doing this in a logical fashion. Okay? So, you need to be in Ren's room by 7 a.m. 7 a.m., which is why you're up at 6, ladies and gentlemen. So you have plenty of time to eat. You have plenty of time to wake up. And you are in Ren's room at 7 a.m. You need to have 2 pens. Both of them blue. Someone's like, well, do I need a blue and a black? I don't give a shit. Pick what you like. But they have to be a dark blue, like a normal blue, and a normal black. So Kylie and Emerson, no glitter shit, okay? None of that. Just do a normal black and blue pen. Make sure you have 2 of them. And maybe make sure they work. Like, some of you buy new pens, and then you sometimes, every once in a while, you get a dud. Why don't we check them? Sharpening of pencils is also a good plan because you need 2 of them. Some people show up every year. Oh, Bennett, do you have a sharpener? And they have 2 like perfectly like brand new ones that have never been sharpened before. I was like, you just didn't think that would be a logical step to do. It drives me insane. So sharpen your damn pencils too. You need to have 2 snacks. You are going to be super anxious. Now, you remember how anxious you were for the mock exams, correct? Imagine sitting there having all of this stuff in front of you in this big pomp and circumstance for an extra 30 minutes waiting to start. You're going to be super anxious by the time you start the exam because you're just nervous when you wake up. You're going to be nervous sitting there in that room, and then you're going to do the multiple choice, which is going to be stressful and fast. Then you're going to do the SAQs and get your butt kicked because those are also going to be stressful and fast. So during your break, you need to have a healthy snack and a sugary snack. You need the healthy snack because you need that energy at the end. You need the sugary snack to get you started. Can we agree? If I was you, I'd bring peanut butter M&Ms. It's because you're going to be burnt out and tired from the multiple choice and the SAQs. Can we agree? So you need that sugar to get you going so you can start quickly on the LEQ and DBQ. But you're going to need that healthy snack in the end in order to help you finish after an hour and a half because that sugar is going to wear off in like 15, 20 minutes. So you're going to need that healthy snack to get you through. So healthy snacks, do we need a list of healthy snacks? Someone's like, well, Miss Bennett, what's a healthy snack? How have you lived this long and don't know what a healthy snack is? So you need both, and you should be like shoving them in your face while you're out there for your 10-minute break. Because it's usually probably closer to 15, 20 because they have to do all these counts. There's a lot of waiting. There's a lot of waiting. So I would have your snack. You have to have your snacks at your desk. As soon as they stop, I would start shoving your face full of stuff, especially if they're peanut butter M&Ms. How happy would you be? Okay. You have to have your AP pack. You have to have your AP pack. You have to have your AP pack. Your AP pack is the thing with all the damn stickers in the center of it, yes? You have to have it. 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 You are going to leave Ren's room. You're showing up with Ren's with all this stuff. Okay? I would put it in like a little Ziploc bag so it's clear so they can see that's just me personally, but I'm not going to plan it that crazily for you, okay? However, you're going to leave me in Ren's room at 7:20. Now, while you're in Ren's room, I'm not really covering content. I will review your dynasties. Of course, we're together. Of course, we're going to review your dynasties. And we will review our time periods. That's the only content I'm covering, people. There's nothing that I'm going to tell you. You're not going to learn your dynasties that morning if you haven't figured it out already. You're just not. You're not going to remember your time periods if you haven't figured it out by that point either. However, I just want to remind you because I think those are good content points. I'm not going over content. I'm not going to be answering questions. It's just going to stress you out if you can't immediately come up with those answers. It's not worth it. So I'm not doing it. However, I have an amazing pump-up video. You're going to walk out of there and be like, yeah. And all 159 of you are going to walk out of Ren's room together towards the gym. It'll be just like a monstrosity of humans all working together. It'll be cute. And I have little tokens for you. So you'll be able to look at those while you're walking. It'll be super cute. And so you'll all walk to the gym together. You'll be there before just about 7:30, and then you'll walk right in. And then you'll begin. No drama. If you do everything I tell you, then you are absolutely going to meet your potential. There's people in this room who are capable of 5s. There are people in this room who are capable of 4s. There are people in this room who are sitting at 2s. It is your decision over the next 5 days what you are. Colton.
Did we just
Yeah, hell yeah. I'm going on a cruise, so, you know. Probably not.
You can still skip.
Where we
They're just counted as non-excused.
What?
They're
They're in the,
They
they're with you in the
no
cafeteria.
one talked about
Yeah.
it.
What?
Can you, cause like,
Is that
I
what they
wanna
do?
like, super early when I have friends with me. Can you like video of the morning?
Yes, I am going to record the middle of morning, and I will record. I will record my tutoring, and I will record my instruction for you. So, good job, Colton. Any questions about the expectations? I hope that you see that yes, I am a little crazy, that I have planned out your life meticulously. I hope that you see that this is the proper way to study for an AP exam. Would you agree?
Yes.
I mean, there's no last minute, there's no panic, there's no sheer terror. This is all very manageable. We've done the work, people. We just need to make sure that we are keeping up on stuff. Now, keep in mind, this is all self-directed at this point by you. There are no grades coming in. You're doing this for you and your score. So it's really up to you. But I would like you to think back to your last 35 weeks. You have 5 days. I would live up to what you've done all year, and all of you have worked really hard for me. Does that make sense? I hope that you see that we have used science and math. I know it's not science, okay, but it's as close as I get to science. We've used math. Will you give me that? We've used math in order to figure out what your weaknesses are. We are trying to do this as methodically as possible. So believe me, I am not trying to stress you out. You shouldn't be stressed. We have things to do, though. What?
Do we have to turn that off?
The pink one that Colton hasn't done yet? Yes. Guidance?
You can't turn it in.
I think
They give us school business regardless of whether you turn it
I
in.
think so, because like my friend did it in.
I have no
No,
idea,
it's
so.
excused.
William?
We're gonna do the math for our last mock exam.
We don't have time today, so probably not.
Well, do you have like anything that?
I have nothing. I haven't done the math. You'll be
okay.
fine, William. You'll be fine.
I'd rather know what I got.
Fine, give yourself a 2.
Thank you, Ms. Bennett.
You're welcome, William. Well, yeah, you're sitting there on your phone. I see you. You get a 2 today.
You know what I was doing my phone?
I don't know. I don't
Studying
care.
this
Cool.
class.
Awesome. I'm so glad. Cool. Thanks. What? Okay. Who here is taking comparative? Okay. So if you're comparative, I wouldn't just not study for AP World next week, right? Because if you forget, it's going to be harder to retain. So I would do some studying. I'd spend like an hour, 45 minutes every single day just looking over AP World stuff. But I would really go into this schedule on this coming Sunday. So while I'm in Mexico somewhere, you should be doing your studying. While I'm still in Mexico on Monday, you should still be doing your AP World studying. So, but yeah, I would just do it the following week. So, questions, concerns, comments. If you did not finish doing your math, I would finish your math. That should be a priority for today. If you do not have AP Art History this week, then I would enjoy tomorrow. Live life. Have fun. Make friends. Have friends. That's Sunday. On Sunday, you should be looking at AP World. Remember, AP World does complement AP Art History. And did Ren not tell you what to do this weekend?
No, not at all.
Okay, well, you should look at Ren's stuff. I don't know what you should look at. Because, I mean, I don't know.
He's doing all these reviews in the morning every single day, so he's probably like, oh, I don't need to tell them, but they should know what it's like. If they don't know it, they should know.
Are you ready? Do you feel ready?
I don't know, like, any of the artists.
Exactly.
It's so hard.
Okay, he didn't start those identifiers.
Okay, hold on. Back to AP World. Anyone have any question what the expectation is for the next 5 days? Okay, now, I am well aware that if you don't listen to me, I'll never know. I'm aware. But now you know what you should be doing in order to be successful. Because I got 2s in the room. I got 3s. I got 4s. And I got maybe potential 5.
Wait on it.
If you already grade over.
Yes, take your Barron's book. Do not leave your Barron's book.
If she keeps sleeping on me, I'm gonna get a 5.
Period 6, right?
Yeah.
Got it.
I'm gonna do it.